Hello, hello, hello. Papa Dog and I, we are making a video together as always, and we are together forever in my studio here, full of love, vibration, and joy, with the amazing perfumes and the amazing art media. This is a medium of love. This one is becoming condensed now. It is a little older, but I think it feels incredibly nice. So I want to talk about different things. First thing I wanted to mention, have been wanting to mention, is that I also compared the two Escada types, one from Sensational Shop and the other one from Worldwide Perfume Oils. And I must say the Worldwide Perfume Oils, really, the scents are really the best. I don't know if they are, I really don't know yet. They haven't answered me yet in regards to the ingredients and in regards to not tested on animals. So in regards to phthalate free and paraben free, those are chemicals that we don't want on our skin. So, but I will see. But the scents are really, their versions overall are better. I haven't compared all of the different scents with other perfume companies, with other imitation companies, but so far 3 different types that I compared, Worldwide Perfume Oils score the highest in perfume scent. I don't know, I don't have a comparison to Alien. And I don't have a comparison to Prada Candy. I just know that the Worldwide Perfume Oils versions smell better. So it would be awesome, and I asked several perfume companies now, it would be awesome if they could create a sampler book or something, where they just have, you know, a little bit scented powder in it or swapped on it in one square and just for us to smell, or a little pouch. It just takes a few drops, like 3 drops of body lotion. You know, just have a sample that's free from alcohol and free from chemicals that are not good for us, and not test it on any living being, only test it on yourself. So that would be awesome. Or have, you know, sample oil form, or have roll-on oil form as the actual perfume, or have a spray oil like DPG spray, not alcohol based. That would be really, really fantastic. It would be a huge move forward. But particularly to have the sample sheet, so that we even have a comparison to, you know, any of the ones that are making imitations, and so that we can say, hey, yeah, this smells the closest, or this, they did a really good job, or they didn't, or they made it sweeter, or whatever, you know. So I'm just guessing, but my guess, my intuitive guess, is that Worldwide Perfume Oils is the closest to the original scents. So I know this only also compared to one original, I smelled the original Escada women. So, and the one from Worldwide Perfume Oils comes the closest to the original Escada for women. So Product Candy, I don't know the original version, and I don't know the original Alien or any of the original Terry Mugler perfumes. So I bought, after I came to LA, I was much into Shiseido. I stopped buying Shiseido because also based on alcohol. I also didn't want to buy from Japan anymore because of what they're doing to the whales and the dolphins. So it kind of made me sour towards Japan. I was a huge Japan fan. I also bought Kanebo cosmetic, makeup and stuff like this in the past. I don't buy those anymore. Kanebo also make really great perfumes. They have some amazing perfumers in Japan. There's also a Japanese perfumer who makes the scents for the Aveda line, the entire Aveda line. They're owned by Estee Lauder. So I think they used to be independent ones. They got bought by Estee Lauder at some point, I don't know, in the 90s. So they have a great perfumer. As far as I know, I don't know if he's still there, but he made different scents, including Shampure, and that is a shampoo that they're selling, and the scent is absolutely outstanding. And there's a company that tried to imitate it, but they didn't succeed. Definitely not. I don't even think they have access to all of these incredible scent molecules. So far I already know, for example, that there must be at least 100 different versions of violet imitations out there. Violet imitation molecules. And there are probably some that are very, very good and very high quality and very, very natural smelling. I'm sure there are. Because so far I now bought 2 different violet oils from 2 different companies, and they're obviously not made by the same people, not made by the same laboratory. So one is better, one is from Essential Depot. That is pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I made myself one roll-on bottle, the purple Dinosaur Love, I call it, and all it contains is that Essential Depot violet oil, half of the bottle and the other half canola oil. Mix that together and it is heavenly, absolutely heavenly. So I'm in total heaven. Yesterday I didn't feel so good, and I was kind of a little depressed and stuff, also because of the news. So then I decided, okay, today is my perfume day. I'm gonna make the video later, and I'm just gonna go ahead and spend a couple of hours just playing around, like a kid on Christmas, and mixing up different perfumes. And I wanted to do it scientifically with the sheet of paper and all of this, and cotton swabs, or just cotton swabs and sheet of paper, and just dab it on lightly and then compare the scents. But for some reason I felt like I was in such a crazy mixing mode. It's like the wildness took over, and I completely skipped the scientific part of it, and I just went right ahead. And because I already knew in my head that this and this is gonna be absolutely ultra. I had 12 different roll-on bottles, 1 ounce, in different colors, in glass, with different colored lids. And I set them all on my table in the living room, and then I just went ahead and I just filled one bottle after another with just an intuitive thing going, intuitive, psychic knowing that from those scents that I had in that moment, I received another 30 cents, smell scents in the mail, but I hadn't unpacked those yet. So I was working with the, I don't know, 15 different individual notes that I had available, that I have in my glass cabinet in the living room. The whole glass cabinet smells amazing. And I only buy those scents that I already totally love just by themselves. So I don't do some dangerous mixing up things that I don't like. So when I could mix all of them together and would still really smell good. But obviously, it would end up like a punch, and it would end up kind of very confusing and jumbled up and not necessarily super. So I have to be careful what I mix, what I combine. But intuitively, I already know what goes well together. For example, vanilla will go well with, I would say, about everything, with anything. Vanilla is the most universal scent there is. And also cupcake, because that contains a lot of vanilla, obviously. And so cotton candy is pretty good. Goes well with a lot of things, particularly those things that I get. Like amber, I have one amber perfume, like amber wood it's called. Obviously, of course, it's fake, but it smells pretty good. So I think it's supposed to be some kind of imitation of a tree rosin, some kind of nice amber type of tree rosin from the Middle Eastern desert or something, from Afghanistan. I don't know, but it smells pretty good, but it is synthetic, of course. And so I mixed all of this up and mixed make these different compositions. And I didn't use, on one for my brother, I used more than 5 different notes. And the ones for myself, I didn't use more than 4 notes for one roll-on bottle. And also because I didn't have that huge variety, but I'm just getting started. I'm just getting into this. So I want to start slow with this. I don't want to go completely berserk. Then I forget what I had put into it, and then it's just not very scientific. So, and I also want to do it more scientifically the next time. So definitely want to get into this. But yeah, that would require a lot of money. You probably spend $10,000 on 1 ounce bottles of different notes. I wonder how much Thierry Wasser spends on his collection of individual notes. So, maybe $100,000 or more, I don't know. Because, the professional perfumer has to know like 5,000 individual notes already by memory, and know about a bit also about the botany behind it, and the individual plants, and how it smells, how the fresh plant and the fresh flower smells versus the synthetic version, So they know all of this. They know also much more about the plant, where the plant comes from, what kind of family the plant is in, and so that all goes into perfumery, all of that knowledge. And I think it's interesting and it's important and it's exciting to learn about this. And I remember in school, in Waldorf school, we had botany and gardening and botany classes. So for one semester, we had that. And it was really awesome. It was from 13 to 14 or something that we had these classes. And I did very well in those classes because those were the first classes that made sense. So I really liked that. We also had a good teacher. It's always very important having a good teacher. But I really liked that. It made a lot of sense. And I think that should be incorporated into schools. Jiddu Krishnamurti and Rudolf Steiner have founded schools, each individually for themselves. And they're similar in the approach of making learning more related to everyday life, like more related and relatable to the actual materials that we are learning about. Not just chemistry class where we're dealing with numbers. We don't even know what that means and why they have those codes, and they don't talk much about the history. They don't relate it back to the actual thing. And that's what needs to change in the education system, in pedagogics, that things are brought to the student in a more relatable way and in a more fun way. That's also more fun. I can relate to a substance. Now I'm willing to learn about the chemistry behind this, for example, or plants, or this container, or the jacket, or anything, or my hair that is turning green. And why my hair is turning green too. I would like to know. So yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled and excited, and I have the Escada from Sensational Shop on this hand here. And that is also amazing, but they made it sweeter, but I like it. I also love it. I absolutely love it. Love it. I love all the scents from Sensational Shop. Really love it. Although I don't know if it is the exact, but I put my own on this one. No. Oh, it's amazing. So before that I had the Escada from Worldwide Perfume Oils, and yeah, I have to say I like that the best. That is really, really, really the best scent and absolutely stellar. But I also like this. It doesn't trail far behind, so I also really like the version from Sensational Shop too. It's amazing. It's incredibly sweet. More honeysuckle, more honey, and more sugar and sweetness. But I like that. I love it. It can't be enough. Yeah, it would never be too sweet for my taste. So I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it by itself. I love both versions, and I'm glad I have both versions. Really, really glad. I wished I had money. I could buy the versions from every single synthetic imitation perfumer and have them all parallel. Have like an entire library where I have that all next to each other and have all the different versions. Here are all the alien versions, here are all the Escada versions, here are all the Gucci Bloom versions, and so on. And that would be nice. But yeah, I can't afford it. I already spent just now recently in the last couple of months, I already spent like $600 just on perfume oils and also in all combined, you know, the designer imitations and the individual notes. I spent roughly $600 on all of that's a lot of money for me personally. It's a lot of money. So, but you know, and I feel bad. I feel guilty about this. You know, I feel like this is not good that I did this, but it was like it's almost I go into a manic state sort of, you know, when I'm when I'm shopping. I go like, oh, just one more doesn't hurt, but then it adds up to be $600. Yeah. So but at least, you know, instead of having just two designer perfumes for $600, that's what they cost on average. I have over 100 different, or something like 100 different designer scents that are imitations though, but I am able to enjoy 100 different kinds, or maybe 80. I didn't count. I didn't even bother to count. So yeah, so this is amazing. It's wonderful, you know, to have that variety in your closet. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Then yeah, my own perfume is absolutely stellar. Oh, I wish you could smell the Sandy and everybody. It's absolutely stellar. Oh God. So this is a simple one. It contains a lot of leather imitation, not real leather. So leather smoky kind of scent, you know, like a dry, powdery, smoky kind of scent. Not very sweet, but more like, hard to describe, quite quite well done leather scent. So, like a backpack I had once. So I gave all of my leather stuff away. I don't wear leather anymore. I even buy synthetic leather belts. All of my shoes, everything is synthetic or vegan based, vegetable, plant based. So everything you see on me is vegan, including my skin, but that's obviously not vegan. You know, that could be eaten and that would be leather, that would be made into leather and into meat. But I'm vegan, so I put only vegan stuff into my body. And I recommend to other people to do the same thing. It was very, very hard for me to quit milk. I was addicted to milk, and Helga Tackreiter, she's an amazing animal rights activist, friend of Ingrid Newkirk. I got the chance to talk to her. Was awesome. Was a real pleasure to talk to Helga Tackreiter on Skype once, and I wished we could have recorded that for the public. It was an awesome conversation, and in this conversation, Helga Tackreiter really got me to realize that I must quit milk. And I said to her, yeah, but I'm only drinking milk, a little bit milk in my teas and in my Pero coffee, in my Cafix and all of this, and it tastes so good. And without arguing, without getting mad, without, you know, getting annoyed, she didn't even get annoyed. She was very patient and very understanding. She just said, we have to keep in mind where the milk is coming from. And she explained, and I had already been reading about it, but the addiction can be very, very, very severe. And so Helga, who is constantly rescuing cows, also from Peter from from through Ingrid Nukur, when they get a farm animal, rescued from when someone finds a farm animal, sometimes piglets escape the factory farms. They are so afraid. They know what's going on there. And sometimes pigs help cows escape too. Pigs are that smart. And sometimes a truck breaks open in the middle of a freeway. The cows and the pigs get out, and some of them escape. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that they have to get the hell out of there. And sometimes they get rescued. Sometimes they are found by the right people, thankfully. And unfortunately, that's probably in most cases not the case. So that's awful. I don't even want to think about it. So the suffering and the tragedy that's happening in the world. But sometimes pigs get rescued and cows get rescued, and Helga takes the cows in, and other people take the pigs in. And there's a woman who takes pigs, I think in LA. Awesome people. They're awesome. And Helga knows what is happening in the dairy factory farms, and they tear away the babies from the mothers, and the mothers scream in agony and grief. It's real, real, real horrific. Psychologically, it's real pain, it's real torture. And people need to know this. It's torture that goes into dairy products. Okay? People need to know this, so to make better decisions. And after that conversation with Helga, I knew I had absolutely no choice. I cannot buy milk anymore, and I quit. I didn't buy milk anymore. So I got into soy milk, I got into carob, soy milk from Eden Foods in Michigan. I had that sent to me, but then it's quite a way to be sent from Michigan. So then because of that, I got into West Soy because they are more local. I think they are in California. So West Soy, so they also have better prices, and it's also organic. And I get the soy milk from West Soy. It's very, very full tasting. The same for the same amount, like a quart or something in the carton, and I get that at the Dollar Tree store, and it's organic, and it's amazing. It's great, and I don't drink it every day. Too much soy milk is not good for us, but once in a while, soy milk tastes really great, cold or heated in the microwave oven. And I can put some carob chips or carob powder into it, and it tastes really fantastic, similar to hot chocolate, but much sweeter, and tastes great too. Really, really great. It's much better for our health. Also better than chocolate, than cocoa, but unfortunately I am quite addicted to cocoa, so it's terrible. I want to quit that. I have quit it already, but my husband kept on eating in front of me, and it's very difficult to quit. Very, very difficult. So those are the last things in my life that I'm going to be quitting. But I'm going to get there eventually. We have to only do one thing at a time. I tried becoming vegan all at once through learning from Dr. Schultz in LA and all of this, and I wanted to go fully vegan. It wasn't working for me at all. I felt like I was going bonkers. So you have to do this step by step. We can't be rushing our bodies like this. Obviously we have addictions. The bodies are used to certain things, and they're adapted to this in some ways, so we have to phase these things out slowly and gradually, but we need to phase it out, definitely, absolutely. So, and we need to do it for the animals. It's very important. If we go bonkers, not good. We have to that doesn't serve anything. So we have to do this gradually so that we get used to it, and so that we can adjust to it and live a happy life with soy milk and carb and with vegan mayonnaise. And I get vegan mayonnaise from Spectrum, and also the Just Mayo. It's vegan mayonnaise, and it's the Just Mayo taste like exactly like real mayonnaise. And not just that, it tastes like the most gourmet mayonnaise there is. The most, that's why they're also a little bit more expensive. The Just Mayo vegan mayonnaise is so delicious. It tastes clean. It doesn't taste like it has some pus animal stuff in it. So because there isn't any animal stuff in it, but it still tastes like mayonnaise. It's fantastic, like on baked potatoes or on cooked potatoes or on cooked. I love cooked potatoes and cooked red beets together. Mouth watering. And I put the Just Mayo on it. I put chopped onions on it and green onions. And you can also put chopped garlic on it. Tastes fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's a very gourmet, satisfying, healthy, and vegan and ethical meal. And I recommend that to people. And the red beets, they feed our blood. They feed our red blood cells. Because the red in the red beet is a very strong purplish type of red. It's full of oxygen and nutrients and iron also. And that's what takes on that color, and that's why the red blood cells also are, they have that color, because they have the iron and the oxygen in it. So those are all important points to discuss. My perfume consists of imitation leather, fresh cut grass, and vanilla and cotton candy. And it is amazing. It is amazing. So this perfume, when I hug the Papa Dog, and then the scent of the Papa Dog mixing with this perfume, it's heaven, absolute heaven. I've always loved this, the combination of amber type, leather type, deep, heavy perfumes, and short-haired dogs, that combination. I grew up with that, so I am totally hooked on that. And I made many other combinations, and also just single notes as well, because I want to have the single notes. I made one just chocolate. I call it the chocolate Dinosaur Love. The chocolate, just chocolate from Essential Depot. That's a wonderful chocolate, really, really great. And the ones from Candles and what's the company called? Candles and Soaps, I think. I have to look up again to make sure. Candles and soap company in somewhere in the Midwest, and I just got the individual notes from them. They are very good too. They even have a Chanel #5 that is very good. It's very good. I love it. They have a 7-Up. I didn't even know it is. It smells like Fanta a little bit. A little orangey, like an orange sorbet. It's pretty good. And apple, like the garden apple, and many different amazing flavors, scents. So I still don't know what the difference is between flavors and fragrances. So I tried to find out. People were talking about this. But apparently it seems to be just the the intensity, the strength of it that makes the difference. I don't know. Maybe there are certain scents that are made for flavoring lip balms and cosmetic that are particularly mild on the skin. I don't know. But they're all from synthetic molecules, and that's okay. Nivea uses a lot of flavoring, synthetic flavoring, and they always get the scents heavenly. Absolutely, really have to say that. Now, I know that in the original Nivea cream, I know now, I didn't know that in the past, but I know now from getting into individual notes, I know now that they have put violet oil into it, but synthetic, of course. And I think they put Blue Lotus synthetic oil into it as well. That's what creates this baby face scent, in the Nivea face cream. And the Nivea lip balms are great too. I really love it. But I really the ones that I recommend the most, of course, are the ones that are totally natural, all from nature, and those are my two favorite companies, and that is Veleda and Dr. Hauschka. They are on the top, world's top, absolute top. There's nothing synthetic in it. It is all natural. And it smells absolutely the best, of course. The best, the best, the best, the best. The best. Beeswax and vanilla and incredible stuff they put in it. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And then I wanted to also talk about Thierry Vasser, who is a perfumer from Lausanne, Switzerland, and he lives in Paris now. And he's married to a man, and he is a hot, masculine, incredibly gorgeous, in my taste, incredibly, incredibly good looking man. And not there for the world of women, but yeah, that is very sad because it's another one that I would like. But, that is their decision, of course. And that's not a decision, it's biological. And it is wonderful. And he is also against breeding of humans. He didn't say it like this. I'm saying it. I'm wording it like this. He said, because he was interviewed, whether he wants to have a heir to his perfumer work at the Guerlain House of Guerlain in Paris. And that house is like 200 plus years old. And so he learned from his master perfumer, and he is right now teaching someone. And maybe that person will be his successor in the end. But he was asked, don't you want your own son or daughter to be your successor? And he said, no, we don't want children. And some gay couples, they will get a surrogate mother, and they will like deliberately breed another human into this harsh world, So I'm totally against that. And so he was also seemed in the interview very, very determined on that too. So thumbs up for Thierry Vasser. And so no, I'm sure that they adopt dogs, and he's a very sweet, kind, warm, strong-minded, confident person, and very happy. These people are very happy, these perfumers, just like the classical musicians are very, very happy people. So, but then I saw then I saw, I was researching, I saw a photo of Terry was there smoking. I was like, no friggin' way. I mean, everything is wrong with that image. You know? First of all, he's a perfumer. He needs to have his sinuses clear, his nose, his brain not fogged up with nicotine smoke, you know. He needs to, it's like almost hard on my lungs when I see that, when I see people smoking. It's awful. And so my message to him is, man, you gotta quit smoking. You gotta quit. Don't do this to yourself and your life and your dogs and your significant other and your whole body and everyone around you and your clothes and your perfume oils. You know? My gosh, don't do that. No, 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 no. That's really nasty. That's ugly. That's cigarette smoke is. I would say it smells as bad as shit, in my opinion, if not worse. So how can anyone do this to themselves? Particularly a sensitive man like Thierry Vasser and a perfumer. No way. I mean, smoking is wrong on every level. It's just it's so out of style and so completely. It's gross. No, no, no. It's also it's like it's dysfunctional. I really don't like it at all. So no, that's my message to him and whoever photographs him or films him smoking or whoever films anyone, whether they film themselves or someone else smoking, you know, and put that out on social media or on YouTube. That is very unethical and irresponsible because then it brings this message again into the world and to teenagers that are very, very gullible and very, very undetermined and undefined. And it gives that message to teenagers, and if they like that person, then they'll use that as a role model. So don't do that. Don't do it. My message to teenagers is smoking and drinking is like out. It's passé. It's we're done with this. Okay, we're starting a new era now. We're starting the era of health consciousness. You know, so of meditation, of inwardness. No more crazy partying shit going on. You know, where people they don't know who they are anymore. I mean, I've been through all of this, and I wished I could turn the time back and undo all of this. I would actually undo it all the way to non-existence. But you know, since I'm already here, so and I can't turn the time back, you know, at least one thing I can do is I can really learn from my mistakes, and I want other people to learn from my mistakes, and I can give other people that message of what I learned from my mistakes. So don't reinvent the wheel, okay? Don't go through all this horror. It's horror, it's torture. No, don't go through it. That's not even the little bit, the itty bitty little bit of fun, you know, when drunk, like, I don't know, for a few hours. It's not, it doesn't weigh off the suffering afterwards. It doesn't weigh off the fog in the brain. It doesn't weigh off the bad grades in high school. No, it doesn't. Or the total disorientation in life where we don't even know what our path is, where we're going to go. No, that little bit of fun isn't weighing that off, that suffering. So that brings me to David Benata, philosopher from South Africa, who says that, you know, no suffering is justified through a lot of fun and happiness. No suffering, not even a speck of suffering, is justified with fun. And that's something to ponder over. That's something to think about. So now the last thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is my message for Sarat. Okay, I want to make this video personally for you and for everyone. Always, every video I make for everyone personally is also for everyone else, of course. Unless it's in German and people who don't speak German will not understand it, then I don't have subtitles. So, but energetically, it is for everyone, whether they understand the German or not. So, but almost everyone speaks English now. English is the world language. It will become just one language in, in less than 20 years. It will be only English and nothing else. The old generations are dying out, and the new generations are growing up with English as the universal language. And so that's good. So my message to Sarat and to anyone out there who feels, and I know how you feel, I've been through this, I'm not berating you, I'm not criticizing you, I'm not blaming you, I'm not harshly reprimanding you or anything. This is a subject that's very, very, very hits home for so many people. You have no idea.